Actor?
So, I'm Tama, the director and camera operator. Now that I'm in the director's chair, I'm not going to tolerate shoddy acting, so keep that in mind.
Are we recording something?
Of course we are. We're testing a theory here, so we need to create something that can be viewed objectively.
I have no idea what you're going on about.
Shut your stupid mouth, you third-rate bit part actor! Are you too much of a moron to figure this out without the director having to tell you everything?
But...
Just zip it and play the culprit. If we're doing this, we're going for the Macademy Award.
Macademy? Like, the nuts?
Enough! Let's get this started! Ready? Action!
Hi! I'm, the culprit who killed Jin. Now, prepare to witness an amazing show featuring this corpse!
Not only is your acting amateurish, but I don't even understand what kind of character you're trying to play here.
I am an amateur!
Well, this is just the beginning, so I'll give you a pass for now. Let's start with the positioning of the body. Where and how was it placed?
Well... it was right here. The body was placed so it was hung like a bridge between two beams.
You can place it like this because it was stiff from rigor mortis. So that's why they did the light trick.
Carbon nanotubes, CNT, were tied to the body. The CNT went up the beams and extended downward, onto the light switch.
CNT is too thin to be seen with the naked eye, so no one noticed it.
I've got it all set up. Now I just need to wait for the rigor mortis to subside.
Hey, aren't you supposed to be in character?
Boy! I sure hope the corpse gets softer soon! It needs to be soft and squishy! Like an octopus!
This scene makes no sense. I'm cutting it out.
You made me do it!
And after time passed, rigor mortis began to subside.
The body falls, and the impact sets off the ignition agent inside it. The fire travels up the fuse line.
Soon after, a staff member turns on the lights.
Bam! A body appears, as if it teleported in out of nowhere. Sometime later, the burning fuse inside the body reaches the explosives. And that is the truth behind the corpse's sudden appearance and explosion!
Cut! Good work! I got some nice footage of the reenactment.
I still don't understand why the acting was necessary. It all makes sense now. That corpse didn't teleport here after all.
Of course it didn't. Though the culprit obviously wanted it to seem that way.
Half of a body just suddenly appearing out of nowhere. Just like the Philadelphia experiment. Someone went through all that trouble to make it look like something strange occurred.
I think they also wanted to draw as much attention as possible to that sign. All so they could spread that QR video. Their goal was to make it seem like a supernatural phenomenon. That's why they couldn't leave the CNT on the scene.
Because it would give away the trick?
Right.
So that's why they caused a thermite reaction and destroyed the CNT. The culprit must have wanted the body to fall during the live stream, right? It would have been pointless otherwise. But could they really predict when rigor mortis would dissipate so accurately?
The culprit didn't put the corpse up on the ceiling beams while it was completely stiff. It had to have been after the body had started to soften, just slightly. That way, they could estimate that the body would fall in a few hours or so. The stream was scheduled for a whole 6 hours. The culprit was fine as long as the body fell sometime during that period.
That body fell from the studio ceiling. If it fell sideways when it landed, the culprit's plans would have been ruined.
Yes, like you said, it would have been pointless unless the sign was standing erect. Just like a man's you-know-what.
Again with that joke? Besides, it is not useless when it's not erect.
Exactly.
What?
There was another purpose to the sign. It's the same reason darts and rockets have tails.
I get it. The cut surface would naturally face the ground because of that sign. It was meant to control the body's posture as it fell. So, to wrap it all up, the culprit's motive was to make this seem like a supernatural phenomenon and to spread the QR video, right?
I don't know if that's all there is to it, but probably.
I wonder why Jin was chosen.
Who knows?
Where could his left side be?
It hasn't been found yet. Anyway, starting our search for the people who might have the intel we need is the #1 rule of investigation, right?
Like who?
Jin's right half was up in the studio ceiling the whole time we were shooting the show. There must be someone who knew about it, or at least noticed it.
You mean... the director, Jinpei Wagai.
Right.
Where is he now?
I've tracked him down using his smartphone GPS. He's in Akihabara right now, at the maid cafe Sunfish Pocket.
There he is!
Ah, shit!
Damn!
Ryuki! Ryuki!
Firing your gun in here? Are you insane? There are customers and staff in here.
My bad.
An apology is not gonna cut it!
Several people have called the authorities. The local police should be here soon.
Hey, can't you just let me go?
What?
I told you, my girl's pregnant, right? I can't go to jail! That's why I accepted his offer in the first place. I needed money to take care of my kid.
Accepted whose offer?
Some guy named Terror. I don't know his real name. Haven't seen his face or heard his voice either. All my contact with him was through Nile.
What did he ask you to do?
He said, So me and the staff haven't met this terror guy at all. I don't know what happened in the studio either. I had no idea that was gonna happen.
Class 3A at Sekiba High.
Ryuki!
Yeah, let's go.
The director of Horodori Institute of Genetics. Chikara Horodori.
No way. It can't be. Mr. Date told me about this shrine. This place is so full of nature. Just like Yoyagi Park. It's just calming here.
I see.
Tama, would you mind giving me some support?
What do you mean?
I've been thinking about Chikara's murder.
Are you sure you're okay, Ryuki?
What do you mean?
I feel like all of this has been taking a huge mental toll on you.
I'm fine. More importantly, can you recreate the crime scene for me? I just need to close my eyes, right?
Yeah, but... Fine. I'll play along. You are technically my master. I can't disobey your orders.
Thanks. Let's start then. It's perfect. It's just like the real thing.
I learned how to do 3D modeling in a correspondence course. Back when I was a student, my grandma told me I should learn a skill set. Chikara's right side. The cross-section is stuck right onto the blackboard.
What's the estimated time of death?
Based on the time the body was discovered, that would make it about 4 hours ago.
So, around 8 p.m. on February 11th, right around the time we were meeting with Tokiko.
I'm sorry, Ryuki. This might freak you out, but there's something I have to tell you. Will you hear me out?
What?
The thing is, this corpse is so cowardly that... it has no guts!
What?
I know. That was so bad, the joke was over before I even said it. But I just had to do it! I mean, look, the corpse is completely missing its guts! I couldn't let this chance pass me by. Looks like there aren't any other clues here. Well, satisfied?
I
checked the footage, but I didn't see anyone suspicious. Of course, that place is huge, so there are plenty of areas the security cameras don't cover.
Any cameras on campus?
None. Do you remember what Gen said? The security at Sekiba High is completely lacking. That's my assumption. I can't think of any other suspects.
Just who is this terror?
I wouldn't be having so much trouble if I knew that.
It can't be Tokiko, can it? Tokiko was with me at Chikara's time of death, and she was in Okinawa during the incident with Jin.
Yeah, at the very least, it seems unlikely that she did it personally.
But something has been bothering me. I feel like Tokiko is involved somehow. Chikara was a member of NICE, and he knew about Bats 490. That's not all. The appearance of Jin's corpse was made to seem like a paranormal phenomenon, as if the same thing from the Philadelphia experiment had happened.
After all, we are living in nothing but a simulation. A false world created by a program.
Could she have done all this to give her claim credibility?
I don't know, but it's possible.
I think he was lying about the money. Terror probably wanted someone to find Chikara's body.
You mean he wanted Chimpei to find it?
Not necessarily. It might have been for the police. Terror might have predicted that someone from the police would contact Chimpei.
In any case, let's go see Tokiko. I have to talk to her.
Understood. We've come this far. I'll back you up until you're satisfied.
I've been expecting you. I thought you would be arriving soon.
What do you mean?
I knew you would come see me.
These aren't sunglasses. It's a fairy's black bra.
What a degenerate.
As you know, this is the president's office at the NICE Japan branch.
The world is full of rubbish. Such things should all be washed away. That was my thinking when I designed this room.
You designed it?
Yes, the flow of water cleanses one's heart, just like the flow of time.
Not really. She's a kind woman. But I obviously wouldn't tell you even if I did know something. As her secretary, it's part of my job to protect her secrets.
Mamoru is an excellent employee who faithfully fulfills his duties. I have complete trust in him.
I'm honored to hear that. I respect you from the bottom of my heart as well.
Gag.
I've solved the mystery, Miss Shigure. Jin's right half didn't teleport. It was just made to seem that way. It should have been obvious when you think about it. Teleportation? It's impossible. We live in a simulation? This is a fake world created by a program? Impossible. Simulation theory is nothing but occult nonsense. Just a ludicrous myth like UFOs, ghosts, and Kappa. I'm sure there are people who'd like to believe in these things. And there are groups who profit by making people believe.
Mr. Ryuki, it appears as though there's been some misunderstanding. We of NICE have nothing to do with this.
Are you sure about that? All the pieces would fit together if NICE is the one that made the QR video. The falsified paranormal phenomenon, what was written on the signboard, it all advances your agenda. Could it be that you wanted to spread the QR video by showing that sign along with the corpse on stream?
As I've told you, we are not the ones who made the QR video. What is the purpose of the QR video in the first place? Are you saying there is some message urging people to join NICE in it? No, I don't.
Then do you know about Terror?
I've heard that name on the news, yes. This is about the culprit, is it not?
Yes, but...
I have absolutely no idea who it could be. I'm sorry I can't help you, but... I know of the incident, of course. However...
Yes, I know you have an alibi. We were here, having a conversation during the time of Chikara Horadori's death. But that doesn't necessarily mean you're completely innocent. You are the president of NICE. Surely you have plenty of subordinates who can do your bidding.
Are you implying I ordered someone to kill him?
It's a possibility.
And what would be my motive?
Well...
Remember what Tokiko said. Chikara Horadori is an avid believer in the Order of Percent. Their order and NICE are heading in completely different directions.
Perhaps NICE and the Order of Percent are hostile.
I see. You're suggesting there was a conflict between organizations. It is true that NICE and the Order of Percent have differing beliefs. However, we are not at odds with one another. Both organizations believe in the simulation theory. In that respect, we are comrades. We are living in a simulation, a false world. And from this false world, we seek emancipation. That is what NICE believes. On the other hand, the Order of Percent, we are living in a simulation, a false world. But they wish to remain imprisoned within it. Forever.
Forever?
Mr. Ryuki, have you ever played an open-world game where you play as a criminal?
A game that lets you rob, murder, blow things up, leave a trail of debris wherever you go. An absurd, heinous game where you can freely commit all sorts of horrible crimes.
I've never played anything like that, but I know what you mean.
Then you can understand. If this is a false world created by someone, then the Order of Percent believe they can do whatever they wish. To them, this place is a true utopia. A dream world where they're allowed to do anything they want with no real consequences.
That's why they want to live here forever?
Exactly.
I get it. That's why Chikara was researching immortality.
In theory, using Purge, even immortality is achievable. The ultimate dream that humanity has been yearning for thousands of years. It will soon become a reality. What do you think? Isn't that wonderful?
I am aware that Chikara was very particular about immortality. However, I will say one thing. One must not believe in eternal youth. Eternal youth is a lie. By the way, Mr. Ryuki, do you remember what you said earlier? Simulation theory is nothing but occult nonsense. That is clearly false. The simulation theory is not occult. It falls within the realm of science. In fact, many esteemed scientists have given serious thought to the matter. The theory was originally proposed by a Swedish philosopher. However, the concept has been around since long ago, even as far back as the days of Plato and Zhuangzi. This world may be an illusion. At least, there is no way to prove it isn't an illusion. There are great people throughout history who have held such ideas.
But there's no way to prove it is an illusion either, is there?
No, there is plenty of science to support it. The holographic principle, theory of relativity, the measurement problem in quantum theory can also be considered proof. Even light cannot escape a black hole. I'm sure you've heard this before. Information is the same. It cannot escape a black hole. It's known that the amount of information trapped in this way is not derived from the volume of the black hole, but the surface area. Considering this, you can conclude that information in a three-dimensional space is stored in the boundary of its two-dimensional surface. In other words, all information stored in this universe is encoded in a single flat plane, just like a hologram. Regarding gravity and other physical processes, they can be completely accounted for through the laws of physics defined by the boundary surface. Let's take a character from an action game, for example. When that character falls, you may think he was pulled to the ground by gravity. However, gravity does not actually exist in the game world, only code that was written in the program. The character's body is merely made to show as if it fell based on its code.
You think this world is the same?
The holographic principle is not a theory. It is a principle. It has already been mathematically proven. I'd like to ask you one thing. Beings that are far more intelligent and advanced than we humans. Do you believe a civilization of such beings exists anywhere in this world? And by this world, I mean all possible worlds in the entire universe, including those outside of our own.
Well, somewhere out there, probably.
I agree. Taking that into consideration, we're left with 3 possibilities. 1. Civilization hasn't reached a level of technology advanced enough to create a simulation that can't be distinguished from reality. 2. Civilization has reached a level of technology advanced enough to accomplish this, but it hasn't for some reason. 3. Civilization has reached that level of technology and has no strong reason not to use it. Therefore, they've proceeded with creating an intricate simulation. Which of these do you think is most likely?
Are you saying it's 3?
That is what a famous Swedish philosopher believed, at least. He further explains, that civilization must have run simulations millions or even trillions of times. In which case, it would make sense to believe our world would be included in one of those simulations.
You're saying it's far more likely that we're one of the countless simulated worlds, rather than a world that exists in the one and only reality. Do I have that right?
Yes.
Say this world really is a simulation. Then that would mean a computer or something that's running the simulation exists somewhere, right? But it doesn't seem realistic that everything that happens in the universe could be derived by calculation.
Yes, you are right. However, there is no need to calculate every phenomenon, only what observers see and experience. Take the measurement problem in quantum theory. It explains the inexplicable phenomenon observed in the double-slit experiment. Quantum matter appears as particles when observed, and as waves when not observed. For the latter, its position cannot be specified because it exists as a stochastic wave. Therefore, it must be calculated and processed as the entire wave, and is impossible to reduce. The faster an object moves, or as the effects of gravity increase along with the increase in mass, time progresses slower, as I'm sure you know.
And that's related to processing speed?
Yes. When the load during calculation is increased, a phenomenon akin to a processing failure occurs. That is why nothing can exceed the speed of light. The calculation wouldn't be able to catch up if acceleration is infinite. I see. Then let us leave it at that. In any case, there is no denying that the simulation theory is true. But unlike Chikara, I have no interest in the concept of immortality, because my objective is to tear at the seams of this world and emancipate us all.
So you mean dying?
No. Death and emancipation are completely different. I have no desire to commit suicide, though I would be fine with dying at any time.
Because this world isn't real.
There is that, yes. However, there is another reason. If I wish to do so, I can resurrect myself. We are living in a false world created by a program. Therefore, if we can rewrite its code, we can create miracles, like reincarnation, or even bringing someone who has already passed back to life.
Has this woman lost it? Ryuki, you were right. There's clearly a lot of reasons to be suspicious of Tokiko.
Yeah. Let's check with Wingsync.
I saw everything. If you don't do as I say, I'm sure you know where this is going.